in happy pose. Let's get one foot over the other, and then just kind of rock your weight side to side. Stack that spine up nice and tall. And we'll get a couple shoulder rolls back, trying to ease the tension in the trap. So just like shrugging up, exhaling, down and back. Just a couple shoulder rolls back, nice and easy and slow, waking your body up a little bit. And then a couple shoulder rolls forward. Okay, hi there. Awesome. All right, so from here we're gonna breathe in, exhale. We're just gonna drop it more to the opposite side. And then breathe in, exhale, switch sides. So once again, just trying to get any tension out of the traps. A lot of people hold stress there. We'll take the hand behind the back, sitting up nice and tall. Opposite hand's going on the top of your head. Exhaling and stretching. And we're gonna switch. Other hand behind your back, tall chest. Exhaling and stretching. Right. Taking a big inhale in, extending your arms up, holding onto the wrist. On the exhale, we've got a little side body stretch here. Back to center, dropping them down. Another inhale in, another reach for the opposite arm, big stretch to the other side. Here you're gonna take your fingers, interlock them, put them behind your head. Exhale and just bring your chin down to your chest, rounding the upper back. You're gonna release and then look all the way up at the ceiling. Great, so from here we're gonna take the opposite hand to the knee, other arm behind your back. Just sit up tall and get a little side twist here. And then we're gonna switch sides. Good. Back to center. You're gonna take your arm out to the side. Other arm's gonna go overhead. You can try to bend the elbow and just get into that side body stretch once again. This would be good for you, Lauren, with all those side planks. Other side, exhale. We're gonna do one more time to each side. So exhaling and reaching. And exhaling and reaching. Awesome. So from here, we're going to keep one leg in. The other leg we're going to bring over. And then we're going to turn. And just get into this hip. So you have one leg in front, one leg tucked in, and then you're just turning, kind of bringing this leg in and getting a little stretch in that hip. Awesome, so you're gonna release, bring both feet out in like a little side angle here. So we're just gonna breathe in, exhale, and just kind of reach for your feet. Good. So sit up tall. We're going to stretch to one side, exhaling and reaching for one foot here. Reach up all the way up and reach to the other side. Good, coming back to the center, we're gonna get a couple slides. So you're gonna start your fingers like kind of propped up. You're gonna exhale and just slide the arms out. Inhale, come back in. Exhale, slide out. Inhale in. Try to keep your feet flexed and your knees pressed back. So as you're going forward, your toes are staying back. And the last one, you see if you can hold on to your shins, if your hands will get there, and then just flatten your back. So try to keep your chest open and just lean forward here, pushing your knees back, shins back. Good. Coming up tall. And we're gonna do the other hip. So whatever leg you had in, you're gonna put the other leg over, and you're just gonna turn and open up that hip. Awesome. Good, so swing through here. We're gonna come up to hero's pose. And from heroes, we're gonna go to extended child. So let's separate the knees and send your butt back to your heels, arms out, head down. You're gonna take a few breaths here, just trying to relax. Let your glutes sink into your heels. And then let's just reach to one side, put the opposite arm on top, and send your hips away from those arms. Good. Reach to the other side, opposite arm on top, hips away. Good. Coming to the center. You're gonna come on up here into a tabletop position. So you're gonna have your shoulders over your wrists, fingers are spread apart. In tabletop, we're just gonna relax our stomach down for cow with our head up. And then we're gonna exhale and bring the chin into the chest, round the upper back for cat. And then back to tabletop. Tabletop, you're gonna shift your weight side to side. So you're just gonna send your hips to one direction and then send your hips to the other. Just kind of rocking, a little rocking motion here. And then we're gonna go into extended puppy. So you're gonna put your arms out, you're gonna send your hips up and open up the shoulders. From here, you're gonna flex those toes and you're gonna sit back into toes pose. So while we're in toes pose, let's do eagle arms. You're gonna take one arm, other arm on top, and just kind of interlock. Send those fingers away from the face and the elbows up. And then we'll try the other arm. Arm out, arm on top, wrap it around, elbows up. Good. So from here, let's kick those toes out. You're gonna go back into extended puppy. So once again, sending the hips up, opening the shoulders. From here, back to that tabletop position. And we're gonna shift our weight side to side. So just kind of getting into the hips. Then we're gonna go back into cat. So round the back, chin to the chest. And then back to cow, head up, stomach down. Sitting back to extended child. Arms reach forward, head drops. And side body stretch, reaching to one side, sending your hips away from your arms, opening up the side body. Reaching your arms to the other side and opening up the side body. From here, coming back up to heroes. Good, so we're gonna go up onto the elbows here. We're gonna send our hips up and we're gonna just shift our weight side to side, getting into the calves and hamstrings. So on your elbows and you're just shifting that weight side to side. I'm gonna spotlight video me so you guys can see me a little bit better. Hopefully that will help. Good. Awesome. All right, so from there, you're gonna put those hands into a downward dog. So just kind of walk up, separate the fingers, and once again, we're gonna shift our weight side to side, trying to stretch out the back of the legs. Let's take that right leg up to the ceiling and bring it through to low lunge. So in low lunge, I'm just gonna have you guys put your hands on your front leg. You're gonna try to make sure your hips are nice and square and even, and you're gonna drive this back hip forward. Okay, we're gonna draw a nice deep breath up. You're gonna grab onto that wrist and you're gonna shift your weight away from the back leg into that front leg. Coming up tall, exhaling and straightening the front leg. Flex the foot towards you. Try to keep a nice flat back as you fold over this front leg. Awesome. Shifting back to low lunge. You're going to flex the back foot, extend the leg. You're just going to step back into downward dog, and then you're going to shift that weight once again. Drop right down to the elbows, getting a little deeper stretch into the calves. And once again, walking those hands back up into downward dog. Lifting the left leg this time, coming into that low lunge position. So we're gonna make sure your hips are even, right? So you can find those hip bones. You can even take your hips and kind of almost tuck them under. You're gonna be pushing this back hip forward as you lean into low lunge. So you can put your hand on the hip, hand on the front leg, where we're opening up the back leg here. Good, so we're taking that nice deep breath in. On the exhale, remember we're gonna grab that wrist and pull away from the back leg into that front leg. Good, inhaling, and then exhaling and folding over the front leg. So make sure the leg's straight. Make sure you've got that front foot pulled up. So it should be nice and flexed. Awesome. From here, you're gonna come back, flex, extend, and press back into downward dog. And from downward dog, we're gonna drop back down to the elbows. And we're gonna be shifting that weight, really stretching out the back of your legs. Good, walking those hands back up into downward dog. Let's take that leg lifted up to the sky, this time coming up into high lunge. So high lunge, I'm just gonna have you put your hands for right now on the front leg. Try to square up that back hip and then drop the back hip down. Good, see if you can keep the back leg nice and straight. There you go. So breathing in, exhaling, reaching up to the sky. Same thing, you're gonna grab that wrist and stretch over towards the front leg. Good, and then front leg's gonna straighten. And you're gonna forward fold over this leg. So once again, you want your hip bones even here. So go down nice and flat back to wherever you can with the hip bones even. Some of you might be able to get all the way down. If you can, fingers back, head drops. But you want your hips facing the same way. Good, step the back foot in for a forward fold. All the way down. Good, we're gonna come up to a nice flat back. So hands are gonna be just above the knees. Open up that rib cage here. And then exhale and grab the elbows. Let the arms pull you down. Gently sway side to side. And just roll up nice and slow, each vertebrae at a time. So you come up to a nice standing position. From here, we're gonna sit back into the chair pose. So sitting back, arms can come up. You should be able to wiggle your toes. And then we're gonna swan dive all the way down. We'll squat. You can either jump or step back to plank. We're gonna chaturanga through, so low push up through to upward dog. Really open up the chest, roll the shoulders down and back. Press back to downward dog. This time lifting the opposite leg up, coming up into that high lunge position. So high lunge, once again, back leg is nice and straight, right? We're gonna be pushing that back hip down. Hands can start on the front leg. Then we'll just take a nice inhale in, exhale out, grab the wrist, and shift away from the back leg. Awesome. Inhaling in, exhaling out, we're gonna forward fold over that front leg. So hips are even, back is nice and flat. You should feel the stretch in the back of this leg here. Good, then we're gonna step both feet together. Exhaling out. Coming up for that flat back. Grabbing the elbows once again as you drop down. Letting yourself sway side to side down here. Rolling the vertebrae up nice and tall. Good, sitting back to mighty powerful. Arms can go up, they can be in prayer pose, whatever's comfortable for you. From here, we're doing a big swan dive down. We're gonna squat down, jumper step back to that plank. Lower to low push-up, chaturanga through. Take the shoulders, roll them down and back. Make sure that chest is open. And then press back to downward dog. We're shifting that weight. We're gonna lift that leg up again. This time, lift it up and then let it drop open. And from here, swing it through to high lunge. High lunge, we're gonna put our hands at our heart. We're gonna turn, so if the left leg's in front, the right elbow's outside of that knee. And you're dropping that back hip. Good, then we're gonna step in and forward fold. We're gonna go nice flat back. This time when we drop down, we're gonna try to get your feet on, right on your hands. So exhale and fold over. Good. Release and roll it up. Step back to that mighty powerful again. Swan dive down. Squat down. Jumper step back to that plank. Chaturanga through. Press back to downward dog. You're gonna lift the opposite leg, open the hip, let it drop open. Swing it through. I'm gonna turn towards you guys so you can see it. So high lunge once again. Prayer pose. Elbow outside the knee. Open the chest. Drop that back hip. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. But keep the back leg nice and straight. Awesome. And step in and forward fold. Come up to that flat back. Exhale all the air out and get your hands right underneath your feet. So from here, you can bend your elbows. You can pull yourself down a little bit more. You can bend your knees a little bit if you'd like. So we're just gonna roll it back up. Sit back to that mighty powerful. Getting that swan dive down. Squatting down. Jumping or stepping back. Doing that chaturanga through. Pressing back to downward dog. This time we're gonna go on our toes. We're gonna bend our knees, jump and land, forward fold. Flat back. Drop it down. This time when you drop down, hug your legs, give them a big hug. And roll it up. We're gonna do extended big toe pose. So what we're gonna do is we've done this before, but you're gonna balance on one leg and lift the other leg up to your chest. So you're gonna be here with it. You can choose to stay here. You can try to hold onto your big toe and extend it out. You can use a strap or something to put around your foot and hold on to that as you extend the leg out. So once you extend that leg out, if you have it in front, you can try to pull it out to the side here. And you can use a wall for this too. So when it's out to the side, you want to make sure your hips are rolled under. You don't want to be sticking your butt out. Hips are rolled under, and you're holding that leg out. Awesome. From here, you're going to bend the knee. You're going to hold the top of the foot, and you're just going to lean forward into dancer. So press that foot into the hand. Try to balance looking over the front finger. Find a focal point. Awesome. We're going to release. We're going to come back to that forward fold. Just shift your weight side to side. Exhaling out. Good. And then we're going to squat down. Jump or step back to that plank. My mat's getting all messed up here. We're going to chaturanga through. Chest is open. Downward dog. On the toes, bend the knees, jump and land, forward fold. Flat back. Hug those legs. Roll it up. I'm getting hot. All right, so other side. Same exact thing. We're going to start with that extended big toe and then try to work our way into dancer. So it's that balance pose, trying to balance on one foot, getting that knee up. You can balance here, fantastic. Hold on to the toe and extend the leg in front. Once you have it in front and you're comfortable with that, you can go out to the side with it. And you're trying to balance here. Once again, your hip bones are turned under. So your butt's not sticking out. Then you're going to bend the knee. The hands are going to grab the back, the top part of the foot. You're going to push the foot into the hand. Whoop, I'm losing my balance. Here we go. Sorry. Coming back to life here. Not really. And you're going to look over that front hand or find a focal point, trying to balance in dancer, pushing the foot into the hand. Awesome. And we're going to release once again, just kind of shifting that weight. A little ragdollish down here. We're going to squat down, jump or step back into that plank position and chaturanga through. Back to extended child's here. Arms out, head down. Good, so from here, pressing back to downward dog, pulling that right knee in. We're gonna do pigeon on the right side, just regular pigeon. So flexing the foot. Once again, we're trying to get the hip bones nice and even. And then we can kind of fold over that front leg. If you can. If not, don't worry about it. You can exhale the air out and drop all the way down. Or you can stay where you're at. Wherever's comfortable and you can feel like a nice stretch in that hip is what we're looking for. Good, so from here, walk the hands in, come up nice and tall. Make sure the foot's nice and flexed. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in the back hip, maybe not. If you want to try king pigeon, we're going to take this back leg and we're going to bring it up. Shin should be nice and vertical. And if you can release and just kind of focus over that front hand. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Awesome, so slowly releasing that leg, pressing back, shifting your weight in downward dog. We're gonna bring the other knee in. When you're ready, you're gonna flex that foot. You're gonna make sure your hips are nice and even. Same thing going on your elbows. I think you can kind of tell where your hip bones are at on your elbows a little easier because they both should be facing the ground. And then exhaling all the air out as you fold over the leg. Good, then we can walk those hands in, sitting up nice and tall here. And if you'd like to pull that back leg up for king pigeon, you can. Good, finding that focal point, trying to balance. You're gonna swing your legs around to the front. So we're gonna get a little bit more into the hips. We're gonna do rocking the baby, which we've done before. So we're just sitting up nice and tall. You're gonna take one leg and cross it over. Lauren, if that bothers you, don't do it. You can just kind of pull right up into the position. So here we're getting a nice tall chest. And we're making sure the foot is nice and flexed. You can bend the front leg to get this leg in a little bit more. And then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is put the foot right into the elbow crease, interlock the fingers, and extend that leg. And you're gonna gently rock here. So you're just gonna rock the leg, just opening the hip a little bit more. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this leg and we're gonna let it drop down. And we're gonna reach over the other foot. So we're gonna breathe in, we're gonna exhale, we're gonna reach over this foot. If you can reach with your hand, great. Keep the elbow. If you can bend the elbow, that would be the next step. The last step is interlocking your fingers over the foot completely, and then just releasing your head down to your shin or your knee. Good, then we're gonna release that leg. We're gonna go back to the side stretch that we had from the beginning here. So you're gonna widen the legs out a little bit more. Make sure the toes are facing the ceiling. If you can't reach your hands at your shins, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna sit up tall, but you're gonna drop one shoulder, and then you're gonna come up, and then you're gonna exhale and drop the other shoulder. And when you're dropping the shoulder, you're pushing the leg back. So you're driving the shoulder forward, pushing the leg back. Driving the shoulder forward, pushing the leg back. Okay, we're just trying to stretch up those abductors. Switch. Awesome. And then from here, we're gonna go head to knee on the other side. So whatever leg you had in, you're gonna bring the other foot in. Once again, reaching for the foot would be the first step here. The second step would be to bend the elbow. Next would be to interlock the fingers over the foot and then dropping that head down to the knee. So you're making sure when you drop down, you're exhaling the air out. You can take another nice deep breath into your stomach, and as you exhale, you're gonna try to get a little bit further. Good, now the bent leg's gonna cross over. And you're gonna hug this leg. So tall chest, pulling the leg in, and then bending the knee, getting a little bit more into that glute. Putting the foot in the elbow, interlocking, and then gently rocking this leg. So make sure your back is nice and straight, spine is nice and straight. And then we're gonna drop that leg down, and we're gonna come to butterfly. So hands are gonna go under the toes. We're gonna sit up tall. We're gonna breathe in. We're gonna exhale, and we're just gonna lean forward and butterfly. All right, so similar to what we did in that straddle, we're gonna have hands under your toes, one hand on the knee. You're gonna breathe in, you're gonna exhale, you're gonna lean to the opposite side and just get a little side stretch here in butterfly. Okay, we're gonna switch sides, so hands are gonna go underneath the toes. Breathing in, exhaling, and extending. Awesome, so from here, you're gonna take your legs, swing them forward. We're gonna roll back on your mat. So you're gonna bring your knees into your chest. We're gonna round the back, and we're gonna roll all the way down to when we're leaving. So we're hugging the legs here. We're gonna go into that figure 4 stretch. So lying down pigeon, one foot's down, the other leg is across, and the foot is flexed. You're gonna be pulling up on the one leg and dropping the head down. Awesome, so we're gonna release. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, flexing the foot and coming up into that figure 4 or lying down pigeon stretch. Good, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our feet, we're gonna plant them, and then we're gonna drop both legs. So I don't know if you can see me all the way. Let's see if you guys got it. So you're just gonna take one leg, you're gonna drop it in, and the other leg's gonna drop out. So it's gonna look like this. Goes like this, bent and bent. And then you're gonna take your feet, once again, like probably about shoulder width, a little bit further apart. And then you're gonna take your knees and drop them the opposite direction. Good. Now what we're gonna do is the yoga bridge, and you're gonna be able to choose which variation you wanna do for the yoga bridge. So you're gonna take your feet and you're gonna pull them in towards your glutes. You can either hold onto your ankles, you can put your hands on the ground, or you can even interlock your fingers underneath your body. But what you're gonna be trying to do is driving through the heels and just opening those hip flexors, squeezing your glutes, hips up to the ceiling. So yoga bridge. Everybody's got that. Good, so you're gonna slowly come out of this. We're gonna do a side body stretch. So you're gonna pull one leg into your body. One leg's gonna go out. Arm out. And this time you're gonna pull the knee across your body. So you're looking at the opposite arm. Shoulders should be on the ground. And then we're gonna switch sides. So the leg's gonna come in, other arm out, draw that leg across, looking at the arm. Good, and then from here, we're gonna go into happy baby. So you're gonna get those knees bent, feet are flexed. You're holding on here, right? You're trying to get those knees drawn down towards the floor. And you can even like shift here. You can shift your weight a little bit side to side if you want. Sometimes I even like to kind of extend my legs and then bring them back to bent. Good, and we're gonna go back into the yoga bridge. This time we're gonna do single leg bridges. So we're gonna lift up with two legs, extend one leg, and then do like a slow negative. So it's gonna look like this. This is something that I worked with Lauren on and I love doing it. So you're gonna lift up to the bridge, hands will be by your sides. You're gonna extend out so your hips are even, and then you're gonna slowly come down on the one leg. So once again, up, squeezing the glutes, flat hips, extend, and then slow negative down. Okay, so just get 10 total. You're gonna lift up the hips, squeeze the butt, make sure you're even. Try to even get your knees even when you're up there. So when you extend the leg, you're not extending it to the ceiling, you're extending it to the opposite wall. Lauren, that looks awesome. And then you're slowly coming down. So squeeze that butt, extend out, and then nice and slow. Awesome. So we're getting 10 total of these. Good, and you can kind of see if you have an imbalance, if which one leg's harder, one's easier. It's harder to keep your hips even. And when you get up to that glute bridge, make sure that core is nice and tight. Good, so after you hit 10, you're gonna have a choice. I'm gonna have you either take the leg over straight, or you can take it over this way straight, kind of holding on to the ankle. So it's gonna be here, or it can be here, whatever you feel like your body needs, across or open. Okay, up to you. And you're just gonna breathe and relax here, wherever you're at. And we're gonna switch sides. Awesome, so we're gonna come back to center and you're gonna choose. You can either do the yoga bridge or you can try the wheel. So the wheel, your arms are gonna be by your ears and you're gonna be pushing up to that half moon like wheel position. It will look like this. Feet are gonna come in nice and close. This is another thing, it's really good to open up stomach muscles and hip flexors. Just driving up. Or going back to that yoga bridge, once again squeezing the butt. Maybe trying a different hand position, interlocking underneath or.
Scary.
Awesome, so you're gonna slowly come down. You can bring your knees in and just get a couple like gentle rocks here. And next thing we're gonna do is either a double leg side stretch or you can go back into happy baby. So you're either gonna take both legs and just completely drop them over, or you can go back into this position, kind of working on that. So up to you, once again, what you feel like your body needs right now. And if you're doing side body, make sure you switch sides. All right, and you're gonna bring both knees in and just kind of rock it up. We're gonna do two more things and we'll do a meditation. So we're gonna be back in this bounded or seated angle position here. So once again, toes are up, knees are facing the ceiling. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. So what we're gonna do this time, you're gonna put your hands at your shins, and what I'm gonna have you do is kind of lean forward a little bit by pushing back on. The other thing you can do if it doesn't feel comfortable is you can try one arm. If you want one arm in front, you can do that. Or you can just drive forward and then come up. So you're driving those knees back and then you're coming up. So you're gonna get a couple of those. And then you're gonna go to a place where you can hold. So it can be all the way out. It can be on your elbows. It can be whatever's comfortable for you. Good. And lastly, kneeing back into this butterfly. Hands under your toes, nice and tall. Exhaling and putting a little pressure on those knees, seeing where you're at. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do a little Shavasana. Hopefully everybody feels a little more mobile. I feel better. I don't feel as old as I did in the beginning of this. But I'm gonna have you relax in a corpse pose. If you wanna turn your lights off, you can, you don't have to. Whatever works for you. But Lauren, are you still able to go on your back or just not for a long period of time? Yeah, so you can do side too, up to you. All right, so let's lay back. You're on your back. You're gonna make sure your spine is nice and straight so your nose will line up with your belly button when you're lying down there. Find a nice comfortable position. You can use pillows or, you know, underneath your knees, whatever works for you. You're gonna take your shoulders and you're gonna roll them down and back when you're down there. And this just opens up your chest so that you can breathe nice deep breaths. Your feet should be about hip width distance apart. And then you can close your eyes or you can focus in on a spot on the ceiling. So we're gonna start off with a few nice deep breaths. If you want to put like one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach to feel and connect with your breath a little deeper, you can. You don't have to. But we're trying to take a nice deep breath in, fill the stomach up all the way with air, and then make sure that stomach completely empties. So a nice deep breath in, filling the stomach up, and completely emptying the stomach. We do the same thing for the lungs. We're going to breathe in. We're going to make sure that the rib cage expands as your lungs fill up, and you're going to empty the lungs. One more time, breathing into the lungs. And you're going to think about breathing into the stomach, filling it up, and continuing that inhale to the lungs. Emptying the lungs and emptying the stomach. So just drawing a nice deep breath into the stomach, filling it, continuing that inhale to the lungs, exhaling all that air out. You're going to think about breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. Breathing in all the calm and letting go of your stresses as you exhale out. You're just using your breath as your focal point. Continue to breathe slowly and gently. You're deepening your state of relaxation more and more with each breath, becoming more and more relaxed. And what we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to create a picture in your mind. We're going to try to do some visualization. You're going to imagine a place where you feel completely at ease. It might be a favorite place that you've been to before. It could be somewhere that's imaginary or somewhere that you'd love to go to. It's totally up to you, but you're going to picture a place where you feel safe, you feel happy, and you feel calm. And you're going to start creating the details of this place in your mind. So as you're lying here, you're going to first visualize, what does this place look like? Do you see mountaintops or ocean waves? Or are you indoors? And what does this place sound like? If you're on the beach, maybe you hear the ocean waves as they crash on the shore. Maybe you're hearing different sounds of nature, birds chirping. What kind of sounds do you hear in this nice, peaceful place? And the last thing you're going to think about is, what does this place smell like? Is there any distinct smells that help you relax? Maybe you can smell the ocean or fresh flowers. What kind of smells does your nice, safe place have? And you're going to try to imagine how you feel here physically. You're comfortable, enjoying the pleasant temperature, whatever that is. You enjoy being still and relaxing, or maybe even participating in your favorite activities. You just know that you love the way you feel in this nice, peaceful place. You're calm and at ease and safe here. And you're going to try to remain in this place for a couple of minutes as you meditate calmly. If your focus shifts to something else, try to bring it back, imagining the details, the sounds, and the smells, and what's so comforting about this place. And then slowly, you're just going to come out of this nice relaxed state. You're going to feel the mat beneath you. Listening to the sounds around you. Slowly start moving your fingers and your feet. Just small movements. Rolling your wrist around, your ankles. Taking a nice deep breath, extending your arms overhead, extending your legs to the opposite wall. So just stretching out, making yourself nice and long. Then bringing those knees into your chest. Gently rocking side to side, forward and back, whatever works. Whenever you're ready, you'll just turn to your right side and slowly come up to a nice seated position. Awesome.
Is Kay okay? Did she ever come back?
Hold on. Let me stop recording.